Hello, guys. Welcome to the Sporting Tribune. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and we have someone very special with us here today. We will be talking to the sixth overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the newest running back for the Las Vegas Raiders, Ashton Jeanty. Ashton, welcome, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for the nice intro.
There it is, man. Hey, you deserve it, man. You've been working so hard to get to this point right here, right now. And I mean, first of all, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule and as you prepare for your first season in the NFL. And that's what I want to go ahead and start talking to you about. Let's talk about your journey to the NFL. When was that moment, Ashton, where in your life when you realized that you love the game of football?
Man, I realized it early, I at a young age. I'd probably say in middle school, honestly. It's when I really started growing a huge passion for playing football. I mean, and I just always had a natural talent. I was, gifted at playing it. And that's usually how it starts. And, you know, from there it just, took off and, now hey, I'm here living my dream.
Right. I did see the video that was on your social media with some of your siblings just, talking on your behalf, just, talking about that 6-year-old kid that was running around with the football and just making just impressive plays at a very young age, which kind of gave them the sense of like, this guy's going to be somewhere one day. At what point, like, did you realize, like, I'm talented enough? Like, you realize, like, okay, I want to chase this dream.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of people telling me like, "Hey, man, like you could be something special, like you could be great." But I think I really realized it, once I moved when I was in Texas playing high school football, and I finished my junior season, and I started to pick up some offers, and that was when it like kind of became real, like I really got a chance to do something special.
Okay, and because it came to one point where you had that conversation with your parents, as you did play some football in Europe, and you let them know that you wanted to come back to the U.S. and play high school football. What was that conversation like with them? And ultimately, I guess they said yes, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, regardless, like we was gonna come back to the US, but I was kind of like, like we gotta go to the right spot, so I can get recruited, I could do my thing and, play Division I football and, further my career as a an athlete and, eventually make it to the pros.
And what was the best moment just playing college football? I mean, you go to Boise State and you just crush records after records and talk to me about like the experience of being a college football player, especially during this era right now where it's the NIL deals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean it was special, man. I mean, the thing about it is like I came in like right when everything started. So, my first 2 years there wasn't really NIL, like, guys weren't really getting paid. I remember seeing like something about SMU, like I think my freshman or sophomore year, like they started paying guys, like, and then it kind of took off. And then, actually being able to make money off your name, image, and likeness, while you're in college was just a special opportunity. And then, obviously I blew up, last season. So, I had, it's a great advantage, to be making some money, also doing what you love and, be able to kind of set yourself up for the future, even if you don't go to the pros. But also the thing about it is now a lot of athletes are just chasing after the money. They're not really going into it, trying to get developed and all that. But overall, for me, it was a great experience.
Okay, and so talking about that experience, you had a tremendous moment in the first game of your 2024 season where you were playing against Georgia Southern. I'm sure you can already recall that moment when you rushed for 267 yards. You broke a 46-year-old single game record for Boise State, 6 touchdowns, and just talk about like what do you recall from that moment where you just realized like how big of a moment that was.
Um, it was special. I mean, it was really for me when the game got done because like while I was doing it, it was like, yeah, man, I got 4 touchdowns, five, now I got six. You're not really thinking about it. But then once the game got over and then my phone blowing up, I'm all over ESPN. That was when it really hit me, and it was like a great moment because I had put in so much work, for that opportunity. And, I went out there and, just seized the moment.
There it is. And, you know, the moment that just came to life just just a little over a month ago when your name was called in the NFL draft, and just going through that process and just talking to different teams, interviewing with different GMs and coaches, like, did you at one point get a sense that, okay, the Raiders are looking at me, or was there another team that was like, you had a feeling like, okay, I think I'm gonna go maybe to Buffalo?
I had a really good feeling about the Raiders, honestly. Right after we had our meeting at draft, just the energy of Pete Carroll and all the other coaches, and we just had a great talk. I was able to really share who I am as a person and as a player. And I mean, there was a few other teams, but Raiders being the higher pick of all those, I felt like there was a better chance of me going there.
Well, did you keep a close eye at the Raiders last season? Like, I'm sure you're a fan of the NFL and you've been watching the sport for quite some time now. But did you kind of keep a close eye to the Raiders there?
Nah, I didn't. But I just kind of just watch football as a whole, but I wouldn't say specifically on the Raiders. Nah.
Well, is there a team that you grew up loving, like a certain player that you kind of like? Okay, this is someone that I really love and enjoy watching.
Yeah, I mean, I liked a lot of different teams and players. I was really a bandwagon. Like whoever was good that year, whoever won the bowl, like what I'm saying, that was my team. But I like the earliest was probably like the Seahawks when they were making their runs. They went to the Super Bowl, and like just for the running backs, Marshawn Lynch was going crazy.
I mean, to just talk about that moment itself, right there. I mean, you're looking at a team, a little over 10 years ago, and now that same coach that was coaching there in two Super Bowl appearances, now that's your head coach. Like,
Right.
how's that relationship now with Pete Carroll? As you know, now you are a member of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, it's great, man. I mean, he's brings juice, energy every single day. I mean, at his age to
Right,
bring
he's
that
jumping
level
up
of
and down.
juice, man. But you can see the level of passion that he has for coaching this game and bring the best out of his players. And who wouldn't want to play for a coach like that?
Yeah, and now I mean you have some great teammates as well. I mean you got like Max Crosby, got your new quarterback in Geno Smith. Like what is it like, being around professional players that have been in the game for quite some time now? Like what do you like what's those conversations like? Are you trying to pick their brain? Are you I mean I'm sure you're just learning a lot every single day as you go.
Yeah, I think I've picked their brains on a lot of different things and how they've, handled the pressure of being a professional athlete, to different things with managing money, to how they take care of their body, just about everything. Or, even from their position, you know, what are some of the things they're looking for, or learning just different tips from different guys, so that I can become a better player, and then also take care of things off of the field and continue to build my brand.
There it is. There it is. And talking about what you do off the field. I mean, when you're doing these insane workouts, like I got a chance to see that video online where you're just running up and down the hill and just how insane is that for yourself? Have you been accustomed to doing workouts like that, or is that something new that you're just doing now with the Raiders?
That's something I've always like done. Like I've always just tried to work as hard and do different things, and that I feel like can translate onto the football field. And I mean, I think most importantly, just pushing yourself mentally and physically, whereas that place you can get to and surpass that, because that's really what football is about, right? Who's more mentally and physically tough on the field for 4 quarters. So yeah.
I mean, that's just awesome to see you fulfill your dream at this point in your life right now, and just looking at what goes and what do you hope to accomplish in your rookie season here with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, man. I hope to do a lot of great things. What I think most importantly, first is just leading and helping the team win. However I can, and just really taking on my role and starring in my role, and then you know obviously the team success. We want that more than anything. To win, have a winning season. You know, make a playoff appearance. You know, we want to be playing, longer in January, February. Um, and then, I mean, I think the personal goals will come with that, whether
Mhm.
that's, you know, hitting 1,000 yards rushing, maybe offensive rookie of the year. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
There it is. Well, a lot of Raider fans are just looking forward to having you. And what's been the reception like with Raider Nation? Because Raider Nation is just humongous. I mean, there's fans all over the world, but how's been that celebration as they welcome you into Raider Nation?
It's been dope. They've been, very welcoming, since day one of getting drafted. But just seeing how excited their passion for, Raiders football is, it's exciting to have that support, that fan base behind you, and that makes it even more fun to, suit up and, play in front of them.
There it is. Well, hey, Ashton, we're talking about all the games that you play on the field, but let's talk about the game that you play off the field and at home, and with this amazing new Call of Duty partnership we got here.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of the Call of Duty franchise. Playing Call of Duty Mobile is really good for my lifestyle because I got a good travel schedule, so I can jump on, play pretty much wherever I want. And then one big moment was just at the draft, playing Call of Duty Mobile, playing it with my dad as well. That was
Oh,
pretty cool. Um, but yeah, they just have so many, different game modes and different aspects and, varieties of the game that make it so much fun to play.
okay, so everyone can just go online, on their phone, on their app store, download the Call of Duty app, and just have an amazing run, just like Ashton has been having. But Ashton, again, I just want to thank you for your time and joining here with the Sporting Tribune. And again, we got the number 6 overall pick of the NFL draft from the Las Vegas Raiders, Ashton Jeanty. Ashley, thank you again.
Thank you.